Hey guys, Jaden here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you some of the updates that we have done for the website. So if you're new to the channel, if you're not sure what we are doing, I essentially show you behind the scenes of what exactly goes on in a marketing campaign from the start, meaning we go through the analytics, we go through the every single detail that kind of happens behind the scenes, unfiltered. Everything is unfiltered. I show you why we do things, how we do things, and also just narrating everything that I'm doing. So hopefully this helps you out. In this episode, I'm going to show you the design build out. So we have already completed the design. So you can see, if you are new to the episodes, or if you're not new, right, if you look at the previous episodes, you will know that this site that we are working on, the design is very different from what we are seeing here. And so we have created a new design. We also show you kind of like the mock-ups of the design as well. That is in the kind of like the previous two episodes. So I'm going to show you, the final, well, not final, but the completed design, and also at the same time walk you through some of the reasons why we did certain things and how we did it. And hopefully this will be able to help you out. So let's get started. So I have my notes here. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the new design. So I unfortunately deleted all the images of the previous web design, so I cannot show you that. But if you look at the previous episodes, you will be able to see how the old design was like. And so this is the new design. It's very, very bare bones, meaning we don't have a ton of pages out. And the reason why I want it like that is because we want to kind of like do the 80-20, where we focus on the 20%. We want to build out the 20% most important pages that gets most of the leads, or that get most of the customers. So yeah, I'm going to show you. So previously, in the website, right, we have like a couple of things. We have like testimonials. We also have contact us and things like that. So now we're just left with the services, right? So the main services. So if you see the previous site design, you will see there are services, there is also a contact, there's also a testimonial, and now we have basically streamlined it. And if you want to know kind of like how to design when you take over, or when you're working on a web design project, how to do everything from scratch, meaning even the architecture. So I've showed you how we came up with the architecture, also showing you how to come up with a site architecture for yourself or for any brands that you're working with. So if you can see here, the site architecture, there's a lot of pages, whereas even here there's a about us page, but in a new website there isn't a about page. And the reason why is because like I mentioned, I've completed this web design and development, the whole thing. I think it took me about 3 or 4 days, like of complete focus, just developing and designing all the individual pages out. And so there are a couple of pages that we will need to create, but as of this moment, to move the series forward and to show you some of the more important stuff, I think I am going to delay some of the pages that will need to be developed. For example, the About Us page. So right now we don't have the About Us page. We don't have a testimonials page. Actually, we don't need to. But if we want to do it, we can. But again, because it's not that important, as compared to like the services pages, which obviously like we developed. And then for the guides, which is kind of like the post, we also didn't have that yet. The reason why is because, like I mentioned, I just want to move the series forward, because if not, I'll be spending too much time on developing all these pages out. And yeah, I just want to move things forward to kind of show you some of the more interesting stuff, like on page, internal linking and stuff like that. But I think we will eventually be creating these pages, because it's very much needed, especially let's say when we are going to create informational based content to give relevancy for whatever that we are going to talk about, right? Like we will need to have these type of pages created. As of this moment, like I mentioned, prioritization. So that is kind of like the update. So I will just show you the homepage. So the homepage, we basically change you can see some of the colors. We focus on creating and using the brand, the logo, the brand's color. So you can see like it's very pinkish and this yellowish with a white background. So these are the kind of like the theme that we followed. And again, it's unfortunate because I deleted the images of the old website. But yeah, so everything that you see here, it's all new. So this is the first full kind of like showing, and later on I will show you like section by section why we do it, how we did it, and things like that, and which elements we could have done better, because I feel that there's a few places that we could have done better, spend a little bit more time on. So this is the first four, and then over here it's kind of like the different funeral services that this brand offers. And then moving downwards, it's the testimonial section, and then moving downwards is kind of like the about us, kind of a mini section of the about us, and then a gallery to show kind of their previous projects and things like that. And then a call to action, which is the funeral planning consultation, which is essentially to get them to call the company. Okay, so this is the home page. Later on I'll show you, I'll walk through with you in detail. But the services page, so what we have done, it's also pretty much very simple. So just basically the main keyword, and then the call to action here, and then what is consisted inside the package, and then a call to action here again, and then some relevant photos here, and then a testimonial, some write-up about this particular service, and then the same call to action here as well. So this is pretty much the same for all the different services. It's just that we change the images, obviously, to make things more relevant and stuff like that. So yeah, if you look at the mock-up that we did, right, from the previous few episodes, you will see that there's some kind of similar elements, but it's not 100% the same. And the reason why is because depending on how we see certain stuff, because I also want to balance spending too much time to create a design and development. Don't get me wrong, having a great design, it's good for for any kind of websites that you're working on. But for this particular project, I'm going to spend lesser time on creating the design and development, because I don't think we are in a very, very competitive space as compared to kind of like a software space where your design needs to be on point, because this is a local service market, and the competitors are, they don't have like very, very beautiful designs, websites. And so again, I'm just following the 80-20 rule. I'm just focusing on, making sure that the design is at a place where it's good enough, but it's not necessarily the best, if that makes sense, right? And so some elements you will see in a mockup there is, but on the live website there isn't, and that's mainly the reasons why. So if you're seeing like, hey, how come we have this mockup but then in the live website it doesn't appear, that's the reason why. Okay, so anyway, as long as the website it's better than the previous design or the previous site design, I think it's a win for us. So yeah, if you can see here, I'm going to show you a little bit of side-by-side comparison. So over here we have the first fold showing kind of like a button, a call to action, and some features here. So it's pretty much what we see over here. And then over here is kind of like the different services that we offer. And then moving downwards is the testimonial. So you can see the testimonials are here. And then over here it's kind of like the write-up of the company. So I'll write a small little write-up of the company. And later on I'll show you there's some areas that we definitely can improve on. And then a call to action with a testimonial accompanied side by side with it. Okay, and then for the services page, it's pretty much it's pretty much similar. So I didn't do the mockup for the services page, and again, the reason why is because if I were to do that, it's just whatever concept that I use when I create the design mockup for the homepage is kind of similar to the services pages or any type of pages, right? So I feel that it's redundant for me to show you again, and that's why I went ahead and created and developed it at the same time, because it's faster this way. Yeah, so this site took me, like, to be honest, 2 to 3 days to really fully develop and design and develop all these pages, which is quite fast for a web design project, and mainly it's because I want speed to be the most important thing, because then I can move ahead with the series instead of me spending like 1 month just to create and design and develop the website. I feel that that's too long of a time, and sometimes it doesn't require that long. So yeah, now I'm going to walk through with you kind of like the elements and break down some of the things that we have done, why we did it, how we did it, and some points that if I had a lot more time, I would do it better, right? So first off, you can see kind of, if you notice, right, there is a lot of consistency, and the key thing here, what we want to go with is consistency. So you can see every call to action that we have, it's this color, right? It's the bright yellowish color, right? So across the website, for anybody who wants, for anybody who is not savvy, or a typical customers that land on a website, they don't know which button is clickable, they don't know, yeah, they need a lot of consistency for them to understand what things can be clicked on, what does this mean, and things like that, right? So for conversion optimization, some of the times, right, one very important kind of like factor that we use is changing the call to action button, just to make sure that it's more consistent. So you don't want to have one button that is this color and then another button that is this color, for example. So you can see even this contact us button, right? This is also a button which they can contact, but in terms of consistency, I want to make sure that every color to do with the yellowish color, they know that it's a call to action, it's a button for them to call, right? So you can see this happens across the entire site. Any kind of call to action here, it's going to be this yellowish color. I should probably, like I mentioned earlier, there's definitely things that we can change and make it slightly better. Like this section here, I maybe can use a different color instead of this yellowish, but that's what we are trying to go for. Every call to action needs to be consistent, right? So that's one way of making the conversion rate better. So that's first. Secondly, it's we followed the branding, we followed the colors with the logo pretty much on point. So it's a lot more consistent with kind of like the brand. So you can see like this color is the same with whatever they have on their logo. And then the first, okay, let me go through the header first, right? And if you're watching this, and what you can, I think, take away, it's looking at some of the websites, right? And see whether does the website that you're working on, or your website, do they have all these elements? Because if they don't, then you may want to think about either changing it or removing it or adding it, right? But hopefully this will be able to help you understand how to make a website convert better, and things like that. So over here you can see the main menu, right? So the header menu here, right now there's only services, and the main reason why I'm only having services is because these are the most important pages, right? But you can see there's 2 call to actions here. One is the 24-hour hotline, and the other one is contact. Now the reason why I have these 2 here, usually you'll only see like one main call to action, right? And in this case, based off on the research and the analysis that we've done for this particular market, and again, this is in previous episodes as well, the main thing people will want to do when they are looking for a funeral service is they want to call. That's what we are seeing across the website of competitors. That's what we noticed when we did market research earlier on, right? Because initially what we thought that the main call to action should be a inquiry form, but in this case, in this industry, people are looking to call more. So that's why the main call to action is this main click, and then they can call on their phone, right? And the reason why we have this secondary CTA, it's because we still want to cater to people who are submitting a inquiry, because some of the time they may be going to submit an inquiry for pre-planning. So usually when somebody looks for a funeral service, this is usually immediate, where they are calling because someone passed away, right? And so they are calling immediately, and they want it's usually very prompt, right? But there are some times where pre-planning, people are looking to pre-plan, meaning to say the person is still alive, but they are preparing in advance in case this person were to pass away, right? So that's why like sometimes it's not that urgent, and for people who are looking for this type of services, it's still considered under a funeral service, but we still want to be able to kind of like cater to this kind of this group of people, and that's why we still have a contact us page. Right, so when people click on the contact us page, again, this is very, very bare bones. I know when you look at this page, you're like, is this it? Yeah, this is pretty much it, right? And this is the reason why is because, like I mentioned, we just want to we want to solve the most important problems first, because in marketing, especially online, actually just running business in general, there's too many things for you to do, and you cannot do everything at once. So you have to pick the most important problems to solve first. So obviously, like, this design is not the best, but again, I just want to have it out there so that people can, so that people can at least contact us via email, and we can capture their email for people who wants to submit an email and not call, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So that's why we have this two call to action, right? And then moving downwards here, we want to have one tagline, which is to let people know why we are kind of like our unique selling point, right? And I really love this tagline because it says we handle everything, so you can focus on saying goodbye. I actually used a ChatGPT. Obviously, like, gave it a lot of different prompts. Because what we are looking for, or actually what the customers are looking for, they are looking for peace of mind, and things like that. And we analyzed this in our previous episode. So if you have not watched the previous episodes, you might want to go back a few episodes and watch it, because all the things that we do is very much focused on the customers, and we actually went in and see what customers are looking for, what do they write in their testimonials, and things like that. And that's why, like, all the copy that we are doing is catered to the particular customer, right? So what do they want? They want, actually, let me just pull out my notes here. So I do have sticky notes here. Yeah, so based off on our research, they want something like, immediate response, service was prompt, peace of mind, immediate need, and all these are essentially what the customers want. And so I wanted a tagline that it's very much letting them know that, focus on, saying goodbye to the loved ones, whereas we will help take care of everything else, right? So that's why, like, I give it a few iterations, and then this is the best one that I had, and so I thought this is really good, and so that's why we have it here. So we handle everything, so you can focus on saying goodbye, right? And is this the best? I don't think so. I don't think this is the best copy that we can have, but we can almost optimize every single little thing here. But again, it's more about solving which problem first. Right now, the website doesn't have like organic traffic, it doesn't have like paid traffic, it doesn't have much traffic. So we don't want to focus on, like, creating this copy and making sure that the copy is the best, and we spend like 3-4 hours or 5 hours on that copy. But the main problem we should be focusing on right now is getting traffic to the website, because the copy can be amazing, nobody's coming to the website anyway, it's a waste of time. So hopefully, that's how I like to manage all these projects, and also it's a very I feel that personally it's a very efficient way of doing it. So yeah, I like the tagline a lot. And then you can see there's a #1 funeral service in Singapore. There's some technical side as well, but I feel like I should explain it to you. So we purposely make this in a header 1 tag because it's the H1 tag of a website. It's more important than the other header tags, right? And if I am getting too technical, please let me know, because I don't want to confuse you guys. But I feel that this is very, very helpful, because this is what we think about when we create a website that is SEO optimized, right? So this is a place where we have our header 1 tag in, and usually the header 1 tag, we want to have kind of a variation of our keyword in there. So you can see like funeral service in Singapore, the main keyword that we're trying to go for is funeral service, and then with different variations of Singapore in there. So Singapore funeral service in Singapore, funeral service Singapore. So the header 1 allows us to put that keyword in, and so yeah, that's why we have this over here. Okay, and then moving downwards, this is kind of like the main benefits, and you can see this section here is where I feel that we could do a little bit better, right? So the reason why we have this tree is because again, based off of what the customers want, based off on what language they are using, right? Some of the, let me see if I can find this here, but some of the customers, so this is actually a testimonial by the customer, right? So the whole experience was transparent. So this is the word they actually use, without the worry of unforeseen or hidden expenses. And that's why, like, you can see there that we literally use the words that customers are using in the copy itself. And then available 24/7 and peace of mind planning. One thing I feel that we could have done better is, I think we can change this into the copy can be better here, I feel. Transparent pricing, I think this is okay, but like available 24/7, it's kind of like a feature more than a benefit, right? So a benefit would be something like, if we are available 24/7 means they can contact us anytime their loved ones passed away, for example. And if I were to transfer that into a benefit, I would maybe say like, immediate response, or something like immediate, to show them that they can get access to us 24/7, right? Instead of available 24/7, because available 24/7 is kind of like a feature, like we are available 24/7. But what does that do for the customer? It means to say they can reach us. So for example, I could change it to reach us anytime, for example, because then that will be a benefit for them, right? But I think the copy here can be better. So here is also the same thing. I feel that the copy here can be better, and also like the kind of like the design elements here can be better, right? Because I don't know, I feel it's a little bit I don't know if it's too boring, because you can see all the icons are the same, but again, I'm not trying to go for perfection here, but I feel like this could be better, but it's not that important. Yeah, so moving downwards, all these are just basically the services that we offer. So we offer for Christian, Catholic, Hindu, and basically all these are the what is included within the packages that they offer, right? So it's just actually they offer a lot more stuff. And so when we go over to kind of like their services page, so for example, this section here, so what I did is nobody's going to read this if the paragraph is too long. And that's why, like, for all the paragraphs, you want to make it readable. Sometimes you can change the format a little bit, but you want to make sure that the copy you have there, it's people will read the copy or your website details more consistently. And what you want to do is to make sure that it's easy to read, right? So instead of cramming all this text in here, nobody's going to read them. So what I did was I used ChatGPT to get it to summarize for me. and I just put in point forms here, right? And then if they want to go in and see the specifics, then they can click in and then they can see the specifics here. I think this could even be better. Like it could be maybe 3 points only, because I still feel that it's, you know, even though changing from this to this, I still feel that it's too long. If that makes sense. I want things to be very simple, very straight to the point. Yeah, but that's what we went with, and I think this setup is pretty okay. And then over here, the testimonial section, previously the testimonial section was it wasn't highlighted, and the testimonial section is where we want the testimonials to be highlighted, because this is usually what people see, and especially if they see a kind of like other people are the results of other people engaging the services, and this is the result that they've gotten, they would highly associate themselves with that person, and it's more relatable this way. And that's why testimonials and reviews are really important. So I wanted to make things very obvious and blow the testimonial up, right? And then kind of like put in some of the, because they have a lot of reviews, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be putting everything in here, because sometimes more doesn't mean it's better. So if you have like a lot of reviews but you just cram everything in here, nobody's going to read it. It's going to be too difficult to digest. So I only place, I think, 4 reviews in here, and all these 4, it's basically the most impactful ones, because there are some reviews that says that's not as impactful as the ones that I've chosen here, right? I feel that this section here can be slightly better if there is an image of the person, but we don't have images of the people who left the review. And also what I could do is bold the different kind of like key points. So for example, like comforted with every little extra mile, right? Then I can bold this so that whoever that reads this section will read the bolded area first, and that really brings the point across. So that's a few things that I think could be better, but overall I think this is pretty much okay. And then moving downwards here is kind of like a little bit about us. So you know, based in Singapore and things like that. So over here, the copy is basically taken from the old website, and then I just put it in here, and the reason, like if I could have done this section better, it would be to have, you know, but this will require assets from them, which is kind of like their team, and if their team is just standing there and looking very professional or with a smile, you know, that is better than I feel that is better than all these projects, images about projects, because this really shows the human behind the brand, and they are a group of very, very good people, very nice people, like I know them. So that's why like that would be better. But you know, obviously to have that, we have to take images, we have to take pictures and stuff like that. So again, we're trying to go the 80-20 route. I also feel that here we could maybe insert some unique selling points about, you know, either their experience, you know, been around since they started in 2020, but they have been in the industry for very long, I think 15 to 20 years and things like that. So we could include like some unique selling points here, but I think this is okay. It's still better than the previous site design. And then the last section here is kind of like a call to action again. So I wanted to have a call to action. I wanted to have a testimonial beside the call to action, to let people know, again, to remind them of how good the service is. So you can see the whole process was well coordinated, executed, leaving grieving family members with peace of mind. Again, this is to tackle another main pain point the potential customer have, which is they want a peace of mind, right? So that's why I chose this. And then over here, this particular section, I kind of want the users, even though it's a consulting call, right? Like everybody knows what's a consulting call, but there is a better way to market the consulting call, because you can tell people what's included in the consulting call, even though you know these are the things that you'll be going through the consulting call. But if you don't list it down, you're missing a very good marketing opportunity here. So for example, in the call, they will be giving quotations, and all these quotations are transparent quotations. There isn't any hidden fees, and yes, all the other calls with the other companies are the same. But if they don't mention this, right, the person who is looking for the service would not know that this is actually included. And so that's why I wanted to break down the consulting call, what's included in the call itself, and as much as possible turn that what is included into a benefit for them. So again, I broke it down to transparent quotations, a detailed walkthrough and funeral planning, thoughtful recommendations, and also in-person meeting at your convenience. Now, all these things that it's listed here, the business is already doing this, but previously they didn't have it on their website, right? It's just kind of like a standard that they do. However, I wanted to really show people what is included in the call, because this also gives us a way to sell the call, and also let the potential customers know exactly what's going to go on in the call, right? So that's why I have it here, 24/7 funeral planning consultation. And is this the best? I don't think so. I think this can be way better, but it is okay for now. It's good to go for now. So this is what we did with the homepage. And then if we move to the services page, this is very, very bare bones. And again, the 80-20% rule comes into play. So for Buddhist funeral package, as long as the images, so previously what they did was, for all their individual services page, right, they have images, they have like all these details here, but the images were not really relevant. And so if we are talking about Buddhist funeral packages, we want all the images and we want all the content to be relevant to the audience that is going to be landing on this page. So images should be from the Buddhist kind of like previous projects, and then like even the gallery should all be around the same kind of projects, right? So that's why like sometimes more doesn't mean it's good, because if we were to cram all the projects images in here, it's not going to make sense. And you might be thinking like, isn't that normal for you to show only relevant images or relevant content towards the page itself? You'll be surprised, because if you look at your website and if you look at different services, right, let's say for example, if you look at your payroll page, let's say you are a SaaS company and you're selling a payroll service, you'll be surprised that if you look at your payroll pages, you'll see like content that is not related to payroll, right? You're just cramming all of the products and services and features in there, but you need to really focus down on who's going to land on that page and what will make the most sense for them, right? So if it's payroll, if somebody is landing on your payroll page, they are highly likely looking for a payroll software, and you only want to mention benefits and features pertaining to your payroll software and nothing else. Invoicing and stuff like that is not really that important. So you really have to dial in on your what do you call that? I also don't know what to call this, but just making sure that you align with the intent of the customer, right? So yeah, so this is pretty much very straightforward what's included inside. I don't think this design is the best, because if I could, I would want to basically show them the process, what happens if let's say somebody passed away. What's the first step? What's going to happen? The second step, what's going to happen? Third step, what's going to happen? And then if possible, I want to list down like different packages and the rough pricing and what's included in those packages. However, in order for me to do that, I will need to hop on a call with the business owner and then take down all this, and he may not even have the different packages. It's just based off on like his quotation at the point in time. And so that means we have to sit down and work out like different packages and stuff like that, which is going to take a lot of time, right? So again, not the most important problem right now. The most important problem right now is we want to have a website that is better than the previous website. We want to get traffic to this website, and then we solve the next problem, right? So whether if it's not converting, whether the website is still not getting traffic, then we have to solve the next important problem, not all the problems, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And then moving downwards, just here, a main section here to show the call now button. And then again, just a testimonial review section, a why us. So everything here is about the Buddhist, and this section here allows us to put in some of the keywords or some content that is going to be optimized, which is going to be in the next few episodes. Yeah. And then this again is just a reiteration of hey, call us. And this is the same across like different packages. It's just that the images is different, and then like obviously we want to show relevant projects, right? So that is in a nutshell of the entire website. So if we look at just the previous design and this design, I think this design is already much better than the previous one, and because now we are taking over the entire site, and there's going to be a lot more freedom for us to play around with the content. If you want to change certain stuff that is not working, right? So that is the walkthrough of the design. So because we have been working on this site for quite a while, one more thing that I feel like I should tell you guys, it's for all the migration, right? So we changed the design and the not CMS, but the theme that we were using, the page builders that we were using. We changed everything over, and one of the things that we did was we took all the on page, so the page titles and the meta descriptions, we made sure to reuse them. So there's two things that I feel that I should let you guys know. So we reuse the page titles, which is very important, because when you're changing over the website, sometimes you lose the page title. And if you don't change the page title, assuming that you have already optimized your previous page title, and if you don't change that, that's one very important thing to take note, because then essentially you're kind of like de-optimizing your site. Because if you have previously optimized your page title on the old website, when you're changing to a new design, make sure that you are transferring the page titles and the descriptions of your old website to the new website, right? So you can see if I hover over it here, you can see like the design. You can see like the page title is Funeral Services in Singapore, and this is what we did with their previous site, and we basically made sure that it's not like build a Buddhist funeral page, for example. That is not the page title. The page title is still Buddhist funeral services, affordable packages, right? That's the first thing to take note on. Always make sure that you are importing or you're transferring your page titles and descriptions over to the new design. That's first. Secondly, it's every time when there's a change on your website, what happens is Google takes some time to come in and crawl your site, and if they don't crawl your site fast enough, that means they won't see the changes until they come in and crawl your site, right? So you don't want Google to you don't want to leave it to Google in a sense. So what you want to do is you want to go over to your Google Search Console, and you just want to submit up your pages that you have done any changes on. This can be whether if it's a new design or you have just updated content, you've just changed the page title, any kind of optimization that you do for a site. You want to always go over to Google Search Console and submit the URL up, so that you are intentionally asking Google to come into your website, crawl your site, or put it on their queue, for example, and then you're pinging Google to, hey, instead of waiting for Google to come and do its job, you're telling Google that, hey, we have made some changes to the site, can you come in and take a look? So this way it speeds up the process of instead of waiting for Google to come in and then crawl your site, which you don't know when they will do it. But yeah, just make sure that you are submitting all the URLs that you have made changes on Google Search Console. This is just a general best practice, or you can leave it. That is optional. What I like to do is I like to, as much as possible, any small little time counts. So I like to just basically submit up to Google Search Console. So that's the two things that I feel that is important that you should take note of. All right. So with that being said, next thing I want to show you guys, right, it's the kind of like a performance update of the website. So we've been working on the site. Like I mentioned, even before I started the series, I've done very minor changes. I've only changed their page titles, and I feel that even the page title changes is not like very much in depth. I just basically included some keywords in there, and then that's about it. Like, it's not I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I feel that I can optimize a lot better, but it's been quite some time. So if we were to take a look at the performance, right, I just want to walk through the performance with you guys. So you can see, you know, if you go over to all, the website has been around for quite some time already. So if you go to who is, you'll be able to see that the website has been around for quite some time, and there isn't a lot of, it's pretty much, there's no organic traffic right now. I mean previously, right? But after we have optimized, you know, you can see there is some kind of traction going on. If I just filter this down to 1 year, you can see they started, the website started to show up for keywords, which is a really good sign, because in order for a page, or in order for a website to rank on page 1, it needs to rank in Google first, right? Doesn't matter which position it is in, obviously the higher the better, but in order for you to be on page 1, you need to be on page 100. You need to at least appear on Google first, right? So it's showing keywords appearing here, and then towards like March and April, there is, you know, changes, and the footprint of the website is getting more, it's getting bigger, right? And if we go over and see some of the keywords, right, you can see that, okay, this is their brand, which is okay, but you can see some of the keywords is the keywords that we're trying to go after, which is like Hindu funeral, Taoist funeral, and stuff like that. So despite them being on like position 22 and 32, this is a really good sign, because just by changing the page title and the description, we are showing up on Google already. And this is with us not doing more optimization. Like, this is a very fundamental, right? We haven't done content, we haven't done a better page title, we haven't done internal linking, we haven't done any kind of like link building and stuff like that, and it's already showing up on position 22. So it's a really good sign. And if we were to see, like, you know, based off on their previous last 2 years, right, this website wasn't showing up for this keyword at all until March of this year, when we changed when we did some optimization, and it's already showing up over here, which is a really good sign, right? Yes, it may be trending downwards. We were on page 2, but I'm not too worried about this, because like I mentioned, we haven't really go in and do the content optimization and internal linking and stuff like that. So there's a lot of opportunities we can still go after here. And you can see this is not just for this keyword, it's also showing up for this keyword as well. So previously, last year this time, they were showing up on Google, but you can see now it's at the best position that they are since 2023. Yeah, so you can see now we are ranking at the best position throughout the last 2 years. So it's a really good sign, right? Yeah, it's all trending kind of like upwards, which is what I want to show you guys, because, you know, that's why people say like SEO take time. Yes, it really does take time, and that's why all these small little things that you can do, right, to speed up kind of like, you know, the time that it takes, it will be really helpful. So like making sure that your page titles is transferred over, because Google can know that this is the same URL with the same page title. If not, if it's going to be a different title without the keyword, then it's going to affect the rankings. And if you don't submit all these changes to Google Search Console, then it's going to take Google however long they will require, right? So all these small little things will kind of like win you a little bit of time, right? So yeah, but it still takes time, as you can see. And that's kind of like the performance update. So to share with you guys some of the next steps, right? So because we have spent like, you know, I've showed you how to kind of look at the analytics. I've showed you how to do kind of like the technical side of things. It's not really technical SEO because the website is so small, but I've showed you how to, you know, think of site architecture, a little bit of keyword research as well. But now that the site is completed, the next thing that we need to do is we need to do a few things. So in terms of SEO, what we're going to do is we're going to do on page. So on page, meaning to say we will look at their page titles, right? We will look at the keyword research that we have done, okay? And then we will need to come up with a kind of like a better page title, if you will, right? So that is with regards to on page. So there's a lot of different things that we can do on page. We can change the page title, we can optimize the page title, the descriptions, and then going down, kind of like further down the list. This is also kind of with regards to on page as well, which is content. So what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at the content itself, like the number of words, and what are the words inside here with tools. I'll show you guys how to make sure that you have content on here, on your page, which is suitable for the algorithm and also suitable for actual human beings who is going to read the content, right? So that's the content element. And then we can also focus on internal linking, because we didn't do any kind of internal linking except the header menu. And then we can look at some links as well, right? So like backlinks, so either citations or a few links here and there. Yeah, but that is for SEO. And then on the paid ads version, I can also show you guys how to run Google Ads, how I would run Google Ads for this this brand, and also Facebook ads as well. But I feel like I should show you SEO first, because since we're already talking about SEO a lot of times. Yeah, so that's about it for this video. So hopefully this will be able to help you out, answer some of the questions that you have. And again, if you have any questions, right, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I try my best to reply to all the comments, and all your comments also give me ideas of what videos or what content to create, and yeah, it will be really helpful. So that's about it. Let me know, are there any things that maybe that you would have done, or if you like the video, if you watch until here, please help me to like the video. We're closing to 1,000 subscribers, which is kind of a benchmark for us. So thank you for whoever that is watching all these videos. Really appreciate it. If you feel that this is helpful, one way or another, you can help me share this with a colleague, a friend, or whoever. And if you're not subscribed, if you watch until this point and you're not subscribed, please just subscribe. You'll be first to know whenever there's a new episode that comes out. And sometimes I go live, so you'll also be notified as well. So with that being said, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Till the next time, stay safe and take care. Peace.